Let's go live to Victoria now. The opposition leader, John Pesciuto, hitting back at Daniel Andrews, essentially, who's hit back against the accusations that he was running a revenge mission against IBAC through a committee. Let's listen in.
Government decisions. We're going to continue to pursue Danny Pearson. All along, he's been ducking and weaving the truth. And we are now awaiting the production of documents by the Attorney-General, Jacqueline Symes, who was yesterday ordered by the upper house in this parliament, without any dissent, to produce all of the briefs that Minister Pearson signed off on. We'll get to the truth one way or another. Danny Pearson might try to stop us with Daniel Andrews' help, but we are going to continue to work on behalf of the Victorian people to make sure that ministers in Victoria are not profiting financially from decisions they are making. That's why this issue matters. It matters to Victoria's reputation. And it matters to whether the Victorian people have a government that is focused on the services they need. I'll now turn over to Michael.
Thanks. Thanks, JP. Well, how much corruption are Victorians prepared to cop? That's the question we have to ask after these revelations today. The idea that our anti-corruption watchdog would be subject to payback, political payback, by the Andrews Labor government for daring to investigate corruption in the Andrews Labor government is just extraordinary. Now, let's understand what these allegations are. The allegations are that the independent auditor of IBAC was told by Labor MPs to dig up dirt on IBAC, to dig up dirt on the Commissioner in order to discredit IBAC. Why would any member of Parliament in this state want to discredit the anti-corruption watchdog? Well, there's only one answer. It's to try and deflect from IBAC's findings of corruption against this Labor government. We need to get to the bottom of it. And clearly, this letter needs to be explored. And there's only one way for that to happen safely. That needs to happen through some sort of inquiry. Whether it's a parliamentary inquiry or a judicial inquiry, we need to get answers from the former Commissioner, we need to get answers from the independent auditor, and we need answers from the Premier and his members as to why they've been corrupting the system in Victoria. So we'll be acting on that. We need to get answers. Victorians deserve answers. Because as John said, corruption affects every one of us. Corruption means you don't get your potholes fixed, your local school doesn't get rebuilt, your hospital waiting lists blow out. That's the effect of corruption that matters to Victorians. We're sick of it. We're sick of being governed by a gang instead of a government. And we're not going to stop until these allegations are properly explored.
Michael, is the best place you talk about inquiry, is the upper house really the best avenue of that where the government doesn't have a majority?
Look, we'll certainly...
And that's where we leave that media conference. Simon Love, our reporter, our Victorian political reporter, is all over that story. We'll bring you the very latest. But obviously the opposition is not accepting the, let's say, explanation from Daniel Andrews this morning.